What's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot and thank you for joining us today. I'm going to tell you why I think the Ultra Limited is better than the Street Glide Special, and of course I have a Street Glide Special, and I may do a video in the future why I tell you the Street Glide Special is better than the Ultra, because they both have their pros and cons. But today we're focused on the Ultra, man, and it has a lot of great features and not too much more money. And I think that that you may be intrigued if you're looking at these two bikes to see why I think maybe the Ultra is better than the Street Glide Special. Now, before we get started, if I could get everybody that likes this video to please subscribe to the channel. Heck, if everybody that watches this video to subscribe, that would be amazing. But please help us reach our 10,000 subscriber goal by July. I appreciate you all watching. One big thing with the Ultra is now you have, for 2020, you have the all blacked out editions with the 114 motor. That's equal to the Street Glide Special. That is, of course, all blacked out with the 114 motor. And the first thing I'm going to tell you why I think it's better than the Street Glide Special is the wired headset that comes with the bike and the port to use it. So obviously having a wire run from your helmet to the port, the center console, is not ideal, but at least you have that option so you can talk to your passenger, because let's face it, going 70, 80 miles down the road, it's impossible to talk back and forth, and at least the Limited gives you that option until you can get the wireless interface module, which doesn't come with either bike, but at least you have that headset option that already comes with it. I think that's a really awesome upgrade to the bike. Next thing we're going to talk about is some of the additions that come on the Ultra, specifically the passenger floorboards and the saddlebag protectors. They're already on the bike. There's actually a lot of accessories. We'll get into some more later, but these two are pretty big. So you can protect your saddlebags. They already come on there. That's about $250 or whatever it is through Harley. And then the upgraded floorboards for your passenger, which is just going to make it. You'll notice with this bike, it's really focused on comfort towards your passenger and the rider, and these are two really nice additions that come with the Ultra Limited. Also, the fact that it has the heated hand grips. So in wintertime, I can tell you heated hand grips are definitely worth the money, and the bike already has it. Now, can you add them to a Street Glide Special? Absolutely. You got to take the fairing off. You got to get the wire through the middle of the handlebars. I've done it with my bike. It's already wired. You can do it. But again, that's another addition that you would have to add on after the factory, or just have them put it on whenever you finance the bike. The Ultra already has that stuff included. One thing I'll say about the floorboards is I personally don't like those floorboards, because with my shorter inseam, it's hard to back the bike up. I only have a little bit of space in between those floorboards and the front floorboards where I can actually have my legs to move. So for me, it doesn't work out as much, but for the passengers, it really does. The next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, the Tour Pack. And this is kind of what makes the Ultra Limiteds the Ultra Limiteds. The Tour Pack is an awesome addition, and I know it kind of makes it look like an old man's bike. I get it. But having that extra space where you can fit helmets and gear and all this kind of stuff, plus it has your speakers for your passenger, and it has somewhat of armrest back there. Totally awesome for your passenger in those longer trips. That's about $1,000 to add on to a Street Glide Special, depending on what model you get, I guess. And there's aftermarket brands and all that good stuff, but that's a pretty big upgrade that you're getting right from Harley-Davidson in the Ultra package. With that being said, if you were to get an Ultra, I would definitely recommend getting the quick detach hardware, and then that way you can pull that Tour Pack off when you don't have a passenger or you're just taking a shorter ride, and make it look more like a Street Glide whenever you want to. But man, I love the Tour Pack. It has a one hand touch operation. You can just open it up really easily. It comes with a rack on top. Plenty of extra storage, and I gotta tell you, man, the Tour Pack is something that's very attractive to me and Mrs. Headshot whenever we go on a longer ride. Before we get to our number one thing, I can tell you that you have the Ultra Limited in chrome that comes with the 107, and then you have the Ultra Limited in black with the 114. Of course, the blacked out components is like $1,800, and then the 114 is a little bit more money. So these things kind of play into price, but you're looking at about $28,500 or $28,700 for a Street Glide Special compared to $33,500. And I'm just talking about new prices, of course. But $33,500 for the Ultra Limited in the blacked out with the 114. So you're talking about $5,000 more for that motor and the blacked out components and everything we've talked about. when you stretch that out over a monthly payment or something, it's really not a whole lot extra. But for some people, that obviously that makes a big difference when you're talking about budget. I just think that adding these parts on over time on the Street Glide Special, it's probably going to cost you more. It's just going to take more time, at least in my case, to get these things added up and get them on the motorcycle, whereas the Ultra comes with them. But the last thing I want to talk about, the biggest thing in my opinion, is the LED lights up front. And I can tell you, riding with my buddy Mike for the longest time, who has an Ultra Limited, we never had cars pulling out in front of us. He's got two big 4.5-inch auxiliary daymakers and the one in the main headlight as well. So much light. I rode his bike at night too, man, and I felt like I can see the entire road. And this is such a huge upgrade, because you got to think the bracket is $400 and something from Harley. The lights are another $800 or so. I mean, so, you know, you're talking about $1,200-$1,300 just in that one setup. That, to me, is the best thing about the Ultra Limited, man. With everything combined, in a lot of ways, I think the Ultra Limited is a better bike, better value than the Street Glide Special. As far as the bike's concerned, they both have their pros and cons, for sure. You're not going to get the stretch bags with the Ultra Limited, so that's one thing to keep in mind. I love the stretch bags on mine, and I love the Street Glide Special, but I just think when it comes pound for pound, money for money, the Ultra Limited is a better value. But of course, I want to hear what your opinion is down in the comments below. Which bike do you think is better and why? Let me know. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold the rubber side down.